You're listening to Counterclockwise, where we decide the best of unimportant categories. The fortunate son across the table from me is my favorite brother, Brandon Wise. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm just taking a look at our standings currently in fantasy football. How the mighty have fallen.
Hey, I haven't fallen yet. We're still tied. Technically.
I have currently taken over first place.
We're technically tied.
But I'm still first place.
Well, we got the same record, so eat shit.
I'm currently on a 4-game winning streak while you have lost 2 in a row. And I am back in it. Anyway, 4-game winning streak.
We're going to have to cut a bunch of this out because I wanted this to be quick. But anyway, I'm Tyler Wise, and up next, Banana Bad Labone. Banana Bad Banana. I see you shaking your little head over there. Overused soundtrack songs. Coming up in about 23 seconds. So as we're recording, it's election day. Mm-hmm. Do we want to turn this into a political podcast? Just start spewing the stuff?
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
Not really our realm of expertise.
My anxiety just can't handle this. I'm just doing everything I can to avoid looking at live results. I just want to wake up and see what happened and either be pissed off or ecstatic.
Yeah. It's like when you were a little kid and like the Super Bowl was happening or like a big game was happening. Ohio State was in the national championship game, but you were like 7 and you can't stay up for it. You're just like, well, I guess I just go to bed hoping that this 1 touchdown lead at the end of the first quarter holds.
Except my future isn't tied to,
A lot bigger stakes.
At least when I would wake up and my team lost, at least I'm like, well, that sucks. There's always next year.
Darn.
Can't say that about this.
Yeah, no. There's always 4 years from now when we get to do all this bullshit again. God. At least the positive of this, no matter what, is that we can stop seeing political ads like 9 out of 10 commercials. Every break.
Did it feel like it was extra?
It was extra
this year. Oh my really goodness. Bad. You know what I really want? I just want a president that I can just forget about for 2 weeks. Honestly.
Yeah.
I want a president where I'm like, who's president again? I don't want to see their stupid face 24/7.
Yeah.
I don't need to.
Just stop being in the news for whatever reason. That'd be great. But anyway, we got some business to attend here. We're doing the best of the best overused soundtrack songs.
Yeah, it's similar to our karaoke episode where we pick
but not quite as bad.
No.
Songs that you just hear in like 40% of movies.
And it's like there was no other option.
Yeah, and half of them have Adam Sandler in them for some reason.
I noticed that too. I was like, why does everything have Adam Sandler in it?
To be fair, he has made like 1 million movies and they're all really popular.
Yeah.
Even if they suck, they're popular as hell.
And we're going movies only, right? Not TV?
Yeah, that's what I was going for, was movies. I kind of let some of the TV kind of influence some of the decisions, but ultimately
there are a lot of good songs on my list, but at the same time it's like I'd rather pull this up on Spotify, not hear it in a movie.
Yeah. A lot of mine I noticed were ones that it was almost not necessarily that they were overplayed or overused, which they definitely are, but more specifically, they're kind of songs that anytime they're used in a movie, it's always way too on the nose.
Yeah, it's like way too
really
obvious.
This is the obvious song that anybody could choose. You could be a 10-year-old directing a movie, and this is the song you would put in. It's a baseball movie. You better play Center Field by John Fogerty.
Yeah.
Put me in, coach. It's right there, obviously.
Yeah.
Even if the player doesn't play center field. You're in a jungle, play Run Through the Jungle. A lot of these are CCR too, by the way.
Yeah, CCR, the official sponsor of the Vietnam War.
Except none of them were. They hated Vietnam.
So I think that's the purpose of it.
Yeah,
but
that's the point. But there are a lot of other protest songs, a lot of bands that were protesting too. But for whatever reason, a handful of sounds in particular just really were the soundtrack of Vietnam, apparently.
And now we return to the Vietnam War, sponsored by Creedence Clearwater Revival. Bow now, bow now.
Somebody drives by in a lowrider. You better believe they're going to be playing Lowrider as they drive by.
That's your favorite song.
You got a bullfrog named Jeremiah. You better play Joy to the World. No, you don't know that one. Joy to the World.
I do.
Three Dog Night.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
You wanna?
Mom's gonna do a nose breath laugh at that one when she listens later. That one's for her.
I know.
She's gonna do it again and maybe like spit up some water or like the tea that she left in the microwave 2 hours ago, and then she just remembered and heated it up again.
And then 3 days after after we release, she's gonna text us. Oh, you guys are so funny.
I laughed at these 3 parts. Oh man, love you, Mom.
Stay strong.
Okay. Do you want to just get into this? I have way too many nominees.
Yeah,
I'm gonna eliminate some of these as we go. I'm just gonna I'm gonna go by the seat of my pants here. You want to just hit me with yours, and I'll see what we got.
Yeah, I only have 5, so it'll be a quick rundown. Okay, the obvious one is Fortunate Son, CCR.
Yep.
I mean, it's literally in every Vietnam War movie. Every single one.
Yeah.
And it's always when they're on the helicopter on their way to Nam.
They're rolling in.
Every time. You got the one crazy guy, you got the one black guy, you got the the guy who,
somebody has a cigar that they're chomping on.
Yeah,
the whole time.
you have the grizzled vet that's been here 17 times already.
Change your socks. That was a really bad Lieutenant Dan impression.
It was. You sang it in the open, Bad to the Bone.
Bad to the Bone.
Obviously, Spirit in the Sky by Norman Greenbaum.
Greenbaum, yeah.
I have Back in Black. When that comes up, I can't stand it in a movie.
Back in Black.
I just
thought of another one. I don't know how overused it is, but I just thought of another AC/DC one. I feel like Thunderstruck is in a lot movies.
See, I don't hear that a lot in movies.
There's in like an action sequence. There's a lot of Thunderstruck.
Last one I got is Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones.
Yep.
Yeah, that's another one that's played in Vietnam War movies a lot.
You know, it's funny. I could have sworn that song was in Forrest Gump. I would have bet money on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't know, 'cause All Along the Watchtower is in that song. And I think maybe like the riff is like kind of similar, at least a similar vibe to it.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's what I was thinking of. And it's just, they're both just in all the movies. So maybe that's what I was thinking of. But yeah, I was very thrown by that when I found that out. So anyway, so let me do my nominees. I also, first one out of the gate, Spirit in the Sky for me. That was actually the one that inspired this
list. Yeah. Or this idea.
Yeah. Because I just realized this song is just in like 50% of all movies, and the different parts too. Because you sometimes you just get the riff at the beginning, but then other times you get the chorus, and it's like 2 different kind of vibes in the movie. So I don't know. It's versatile, I guess. Maybe that's why they throw it in there all the time. And I got Fortunate Son, like you said. I also said Bad Moon Rising, CCR.
Yeah.
I also had Sweet Home Alabama.
I thought about that one, but
this one, you probably won't recognize it by the title, but it's Green Onions by Booker T and the MGs. I refer to it here as the Sandlot song. It's the song that plays in like every other scene of the Sandlot. Mm-hmm. You know by the guitar riff.
Yeah.
And then what else do I got? How many did I say? Let me limit this a little bit. 1, 2, 3. I had 5. So I also had Bad to the Bone, Born to be Wild, Steppenwolf, Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas.
You see, I kept seeing that one, but I was like, we can get into it. I just don't hear it a lot. And maybe it's just the movies I watch, but like,
yeah, I have a list of them, and I know for a fact these are not your type of movie. It's in a lot of like kids movies. You know what? Yeah, no, we'll talk about it later. I'm going to throw in Staying Alive in there too, though. Oh, actually, no, cut that. I told you, seat in my pants. I'm cutting Staying Alive. I'm going to put True. I have no idea how to pronounce this. Spandau Ballet.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Song's called True. There's another one. Did you listen to that one?
I did.
Do you know what the song is?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. When I heard it, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
you
half of these songs I couldn't remember what they, because I just don't listen to these bands or people, you know.
Yeah.
So
they don't get a lot of like radio play or anything. It's just in movies all the time.
And then I'd listen to them, and then I'm like, oh, it was in this movie. It was in this movie. So it like snowballed.
That's how that Green Onions was. I kept hearing it in the sound. I'm like, what is that song? And then I think I was listening to another podcast, and they mentioned that it had a title. I'm like, that has a title? In my head, I was thinking, isn't that just part of the score for The Sandlot? Because they play it at least 8 times in the movie, but apparently it's not. It's its own song from like the 70s or something. It's an old song, but so yeah, I think I'm good with however many I said. I'll review and see how many I actually said, but I think that's good. I'm good with that list. You want to take a little break, and we'll come back with our.
We'll be back after this.
After these messages
by CCR.
It's just going to be constantly.
It's so in your head,
yeah. It was "Gimme Shelter" earlier today. "Gimme Shelter" was stuck in my head for however long I was at work, and then a couple hours afterward.
You know what it was for me? The O Fortuna.
Oh yeah.
Because it's in Jackass, the first Jackass movie. It's like I was walking around the store, and then it's just going through my head, and then I'm just like, oh, there's that guy's penis.
Yeah. It's especially like with Gimme Shelter, it's in so many movies, so I'm not picturing one particular scene. Yeah. I'm picturing like 4 different ones kind of filtering in and out.
Just all one hybrid scene.
Yeah. Like half of Martin Scorsese's movies just filtering through my head at once. Anyway, so we are here to... we should do our honorable mentions first.
Yes.
Honorable is what I said. Honorable mentions. We don't need the R in there anymore. So what do you got? You said you didn't have very many, did you?
Yeah, I got Somebody to Love by Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I messed that one up. Fortuna. And
I can't picture that one in my head.
What, the Somebody to Love?
No, the O Fortuna.
I've played it like 5 times today because I forget it every time. Anyway, so I got Oh Yeah by Yellow.
Yeah, that was almost one of my almost a nominee.
And then my final one is Walking on Sunshine.
Yeah, that one I had that one in my honorable mentions too. Okay, so
it's like that one's like, okay, yeah, we get it. You're happy.
Yeah, it's just like a very happy moment. Okay, cool.
Like there are a million other happy songs you could use. You gotta use that one.
There's a ton of them. That's about the easiest emotion you can find in music. just joy. Okay.
Yeah.
So I already mentioned Kung Fu Fighting, but I cut it out of my actual nominees. The reason I cut it is because it's in a ton of movies. I looked it up. I was looking on IMDb. I found 35 movies that it's featured in, but a lot of them are kids movies or like goofy family comedies. So I'm like, okay, I'll give you like kind of a pass because that's kind of the point with those movies is to be, usually it's used as a joke. It's like, oh, we're having a kung fu scene, so we're going to play kung fu fighting. So it's like kind of a joke. It's like, okay, fine. I guess I'll give you a pass since it's mostly kids movies.
And for most of those kids, like 90% of those kids, that's the first time they're hearing that song. When they hear
they
it,
might have heard it on a commercial once, a couple, or it's something like, a relative like said the line once or twice.
So
like, that's the song.
When they hear it, they're like, oh my God, that's such a good song to go with this. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, haha, kung fu fighting. So yeah, I gave him a little bit of a pass. A similar thing with Staying Alive. I mentioned that again too. It is still pretty overplayed.
It's always like an ironic, a very on the nose ironic scene.
Yeah. Well, we got a disco scene, or like we're flashing back to the 70s, so we get like the wavy lines on the side of the screen, and then ha ha ha. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Do we really have to use this song? There's a million disco songs you could go with.
We got a flashback to Staying Alive with the biggest collars I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and the tallest shoes.
Family Guy made a joke about that when they did a flashback. They all had their big collars, and they were so long and sharp that they were just like beheading people as they were walking in.
Oh, man. I do like that airplane scene, though, where he whips his jacket. And then it like lands on a guy. The airplane? From Airplane? Where they're playing that song where he's dancing in the bar when they first meet.
Because I thought you were piggybacking off my Family Guy story. I was like, what?
No, it's a different thing.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about now, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't make... I said, I like that airplane scene. So to you, it probably meant, a scene that's on an airplane from Family Guy?
It just you immediately went
in my head, it made sense, because in my head, it was a title. To you, it was just a noun.
Don't worry, I do the same thing. No, it's okay. I give it...
So, I also had All Along the Watchtower. Mm-hmm. I cut that one because usually when that comes in, it's usually done pretty well. I feel like it's pretty effective. I don't really have any gripes with when that's used, although it is overused. Pretty much anytime there's kind of a trip or some kind of like groovy 60s, or we're just traveling to the 60s. Let's play this song.
What I was doing, putting my list together, if it's a song to where I hear it in a movie and I just immediately roll my eyes, that's going on the list.
Yeah.
That was one where I was like, no, I can handle that. That one's not that bad.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it. It's like it is in a ton of movies, and usually roughly the same vibe is happening. That's kind of why they put it in there.
Yeah.
But I feel like whenever it's used, I kind of appreciate it almost. I had kind of a similar one for What It's Worth, Buffalo Springfield. It's, again, it's also in Forrest Gump. It's in the Vietnam sequence in Forrest Gump again. It's just like, well, we're back in the 60s. Better play that song. The Devil Went Down to Georgia, which I realized after I researched a little bit, not used in that many movies. I thought it was in more, but it's probably just because I've heard it so many times in my life.
The only movie I know it's from is Waterboy.
It was in, what do I got? The Heartbreak Kid, Coyote Ugly, Superstar, Urban Cowboy was the earliest one, I think. Run Through the Jungle, I already mentioned. Have You Ever Seen the Rain? A lot of those CCR, it's like, well, we don't want to use Fortunate Son. Let's use the other song about Vietnam. Which one? There's like 9. And then they use Run Through the Jungle.
All the songs.
And then, Born on the Bayou, kind of a similar thing. That one's also in The Waterboy. Last one was Time of the Season by the Zombies. A lot of these are 60s songs.
Yeah.
I realized as I was going through, it's like, anytime we're flashing back to Vietnam or the hippie era, generally, counterculture, civil rights era, something like that. Oh, I also didn't think this one, or I found out this one isn't in as many movies as I thought it was, but the Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin, you know that one?
You thought it was in more movies?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I feel like I know like a couple, like immediately as soon as I hear it. So I thought, well, if I know that many instantly, I figured there would be more.
The only one I know is I Love You, Man.
No, really. See, that one wasn't even one of the first couple I thought of.
And it's only because they're big Led Zeppelin fans, so he was playing Immigrant Song to his fiance on his computer.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I'm an idiot. No, I'm dumb. Redact all of what I just said.
Yeah, it's a different song.
It's Tom Sawyer by Rush. They're Rush fans, and he's playing Tom Sawyer on his computer, not Immigrant Song.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm so dumb.
See, I was thinking
because they go to a Rush concert.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. See, when you said that, I was thinking, I've only seen that movie like once or twice, maybe. What the hell's his name? Mm-hmm. It's Paul Rudd, right? Mm-hmm. And who's the other guy?
Jason Segel.
Jason Segel. I was saying Steven Seagal in my head. I'm like, that's not right. I'm combining two very different actors.
Very different.
Yeah, so I was thinking Jason Segel, but because he plays a drummer in Freaks and Geeks, and he's obsessed with Led Zeppelin in that show. So that's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, yeah, of course, yeah. But yeah, so that was a weird kind of thing where I was like in total agreement with you when you were saying that. But yeah, so I just looked it up. Still not as many as I thought, but I think it's in like 5 movies. One's like a foreign movie that I've never seen. I've only seen 2 of them. Or no, 3 of them. It's in Shrek the Third, in case you care. I remember the scene I remember specifically that I always think of when I hear the song is School of Rock. It's when he's driving in the van. I think that he's got a handful of the kids in the back of his van, which is creepy.
Very weird movie. Very strange movie when you become an adult.
Yeah. I just remember he's like turning around while he's in the van, while he's driving and singing along to it. But anyway, that's always what I think of when I hear that song.
I love that song. It's a good song.
Yeah, they're really good. And Thor Ragnarok is a badass song in that movie. But anyway, so what do we want to do? You want to hit me with your sure things? What do you think?
Spirit in the Sky.
Yeah,
it's just
no question.
I mean, Spirit in the Sky. It's like, come on, you got to use something else. It's been in over 60 movies. I looked up.
That you found 60? See, when I looked on IMDb, which IMDb, it's 2 B's. Beta base is what it is. I don't know. So yeah, when I looked it up on there, I found 54, including documentaries. But
interesting. Okay.
But that may not be an extensive list.
It was very weird researching this because every website I would look up every movie, and every website was different about like credits and what it's credited to or
That's
whatever.
why I tried to do all of them through IMDb just so I would have kind of a baseline, so they were all, at least I was all comparing them to the same thing, even if it's not accurate.
I'm not gonna lie, I was trying that and I just felt stupid because it's like I didn't know how to navigate through IMDb through the song.
Yeah,
it was very
took
confusing.
Me a minute to find it, to figure out a way to do it.
So in my infinite wisdom, I just Googled and I just changed the movie every time and put it in quotes. How many times does blank appear in movies?
Yeah, that's one way to do it. So yeah, what I found, which is the highest number I found searching the way I did, I had 48 and 54 if you include documentaries.
Yeah, I found mine on a movie wiki.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, just it's I don't know the exact number.
That may include like TV movies too. I don't know that how IMDb lists them. They might list TV movies under TV instead of movies.
I mean, it was in some pretty good movies. You know, Remember the Titans, Suicide Squad, Ocean's 11, Apollo 13.
I saw
crazy.
It was in 3 different movies in 2023, including Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Yeah, 4 different movies in 2016.
Like this movie was in The Founder, which is a movie about the founder of McDonald's.
Yeah, it's a strange one. The Longest Yard, the remake.
Wayne's World 2, that one I kind of understand, but
this is the end.
Yeah.
which again, perfectly on the nose.
Yeah,
you nailed it, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that one's a no-brainer. That one's obviously in there. Any other sure things for you?
Probably Fortunate Son.
See, that was my gut, but again, IMDb says Bad Moon Rising has been in more movies.
But I feel like Fortunate Son's more memorable.
So here are the key movies I saw that was in, and now that I'm looking through them, I think you might be right, because it was War Dogs, Suicide Squad, Battleship, which is not a great movie, but Live Free or Die Hard. Mm-hmm. the Prefontaine movie.
Literally every Vietnam movie ever made in the history of movies.
Just about all of them. Forrest Gump, obviously, is the big one. But
I saw it was in Pinocchio.
Was it really?
That's what it said.
I didn't see that, but I was going through pretty quick.
So it's been in a lot of
them.
Notorious, like really high-profile films.
Yeah. Bad Moon Rising was in Pet Sematary, Bloodlines, which is one of the sequels. Mm-hmm. Kong Skull Island.
Yep.
Mr. Woodcock. You remember that movie?
I do remember that movie.
Yeah, that's a wild one. Man of the House.
The only
Blade.
scene I ever remember from that movie, they're like doing an eating contest, and it's like corn on the cob.
Yeah.
And he just goes so overboard. Not Billy Bob's character, Sean William Scott's character, just goes like overboard with the corn. And I'm like, for some reason, that's the only scene I ever remember of that movie.
Isn't I can't remember his name either. He's a guy that's been in a whole bunch of stuff. He was in, I think, My Name is Earl, and he was in American History X, I think. I don't know why that's the first movie I thought of. But the bigger guy, he was in a whole bunch of stuff there for a 15-year period.
What was the first one you mentioned?
My Name is Earl. And How We Get All the Clickety Clacks.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, the bigger dude. Ethan Suplee? I did not know that was his name. Jesus, is that what he looks like now? Oh my God, he looks like the Big Show. Jesus. Like back before he was the Big Show. What was his name? The Giant when he was on WCW? That's what he looks like, but bald.
Well,
jeez,
it's the Big Show. Yeah, it's the big man show tonight.
They need more entrance themes that just say who they are.
Literally every theme now is just generic bullshit.
It's just so generic.
There was a viral video, I think of this year's Royal Rumble, or maybe last year's, of, I think it was Seth Rollins sitting in the crowd watching the Rumble. Like, they'd count down the buzzer, and then they play the music, and even Rollins was like, who's that? And he works with them in the same company. He didn't even know because they're so generic.
Yeah, that's funny. Like, can't we just get, like, it's Seth Rollins, he's coming to the ring, Seth Rollins. I don't know.
Well, Seth Rollins does because he has to burn it down.
Yeah,
so
he's got a good one, dude.
Yeah.
Logan Paul, it's Logan Paul. No, I don't think they would hire me to write the songs. But
no,
no,
they wouldn't.
You're probably right with the Batman Rising. It's not a ton of like super notable movies. A lot of kind of mid-tier.
The thing, if Fortunate Son wasn't in every fucking Vietnam War movie, I think it'd be different.
There's just something about that riff, though, I guess, that's so iconic.
It is a good riff, though.
It just immediately puts you there.
I will say this. It's overplayed and overused, but it hasn't made me hate the song.
Yeah, no, I still like it, yeah. Any other sure things?
I don't know. Maybe Bad to the Bone, but I don't know.
Bad to the Bone, I feel like, is one where I almost always roll my eyes because I feel like there's never a good use for it.
Yeah.
It's a fine song, but it's always this guy is a badass. So we have to play Bad to the Bone. There's no other time to use it unless you're using it ironically. And then it's basically the same idea, but
it's really only good in Terminator 2.
Yeah.
That one, it only kind of makes sense.
Some guy rolling in on a motorcycle with a leather jacket, or just a guy generally wearing a leather jacket. I don't know. This guy's got like studded spikes on a glove or something.
Looking this up.
Looking
this up. It was in 27 films from 83 to 2017. And one of them was The Parent Trap.
See, I must have glanced over a lot of these because I didn't write that one down, but I had a couple other ones. It was in Joe Dirt. Yeah. Major Pain, which makes sense. Those two kind of both make sense. It was in The Muppets, but that was probably a joke.
Megamind.
Megamind
had both that and Back in Black.
There were a couple movies I saw that had multiples of these. Forrest Gump, one of them, but that one's kind of notorious for having the soundtrack songs that are just exactly on the nose.
You're going to get a kick out of this. So Born to Be Wild. It's another nominee we have, right? I saw those. It's got about 40 credits, so it probably includes some TV.
I had 39.
Yeah.
43 with documentaries.
The three funniest movies. Problem Child. It was in Problem Child.
Yeah.
Borat.
Yep.
And Paddington.
Yeah.
What?
I really want to know what scene from Paddington it was in. Can you imagine just Paddington like riding a big wheel down the
road? Like, just
heavy metal thunder. His little hat flies off. Screw you, people.
He's got his stupid Oakleys on.
Oh man. So to me, I think Bad to the Bone is just because, like you said earlier, you're always rolling your eyes at it.
Yeah.
I don't think there are very few moments if that one's coming on where I'm not like, okay, come on, guys.
So we got 3 then.
Yeah, that's 3.
All right, this is gonna be a battle then.
Well, those aren't necessarily locks. The way my brain works, these are just like the best candidates. Like,
well, Fortunate Son's
the ones that are obvious.
Or I mean, Spirit in the Sky.
Spirit in the Sky, I think, is locked in.
Okay,
but But Fortunate Son and Bad to the Bone, not necessarily.
Okay.
Some of these other ones might surprise us.
Okay.
So as we keep going, but I just mark them as our sure things.
It's amazing how I forget the concept every single episode.
Well, that one I feel like we never really discussed it like as a full thought. I guess it's always just one of those things where I kind of have one idea, you have a different idea, and then we never really settle it. We never really talk it out. So that one's understandable. But yeah, Born to Be. Yeah, no. That one's up there for me. I didn't realize how many it was in. 39 different movies.
Which one?
Born to Be Wild.
Yeah.
Although that's a pretty old song. It's a lot older than I thought it was.
A lot of these were, like you said.
Yeah. See, I always think 70s. It just seems like kind of a 70s song. I think it's from the like mid 60s or something. It's a pretty old song for that kind of sound. And I think at least the myth, the common mythology is that that's where the term heavy metal comes from. And the heavy metal thunder.
Another one we could consider is O Fortuna. I don't even know if I'm saying. Am I saying that right?
Was that a nominee for you? I thought you listed that in your honorable mentions.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. I'd have to listen to it. I can't. I've heard that title, but I can't hear it in my head.
I should have had more nominees.
Do you want to pause real quick so I can listen to it?
Yeah.
That's another one I feel like is in a lot of commercials.
Yeah. But like I said, it's in. I think it's the opening scene of Jackass. If the first one, the first movie. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the first.
Is it
scene.
in slow motion? I feel like it's in slooper slow mo.
Hang on, slooper, hang on.
I don't know. Other than that, I don't know specifically any movies it's in. I'm sure it's in a lot.
It's in. I remember being in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I don't remember what movie. It's been so long since I watched those movies.
It seems kind of weird because I feel like that's one of those with like a pretty epic score. You'd think I don't know why they would just take a classic song like that or a classical song like that.
And then I looked up
classical piece. It's technically not a song. You know, it's technically not a song unless there's voices in it. Oh, I guess there are words to that because there's a chorus.
Have you
I guess it would be a
Have
song.
you ever watched Hunt for Red October?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Long time ago, but yeah.
It says it's in that.
That makes sense. I'm sure it's in movies. It's just none specifically come to mind. I just know it's in a lot of like Bounty commercials or something where it's like, oh no, the computer's about to get stained with that chicken juice. Ha 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 ha.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do know.
So they always just like make something ridiculous, extra dramatic by doing slow-mo.
Lemon Pledge. It's in Natural Born Killers too. You ever seen that movie?
I have not, but I know it. I have know of it.
Such a random cast. Woody Harrelson and the daughter from Married with Children. I can't remember her name.
Yeah. Christina Applegate. Is that the one that you're thinking of?
No. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of God, I'm getting all my shows mixed up. What the hell's her name?
Oh, Juliette Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was the daughter in Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. God, I'm
getting all your wires crossed today.
I'm just rolling in the stupid sauce today.
Just give you a little dunk. Jesus. Little dunkaroo in the sauce.
Not even the good sauce. It's just like the like
oh man. Not the Not getting the I can't think of who's the guy I'm thinking of. I'm thinking what's that barbecue sauce brand that I cannot think of right now.
Oh, Sweet Baby Ray.
Sweet Baby Ray. I was thinking that. Yeah, it's not even the Sweet Baby Ray. See, I can't even come up with a joke. That's how far gone I am. Like I have a joke, but I need you to fill in the blanks for me.
Well, it is 9:00 on a Tuesday night. I mean,
yeah. Okay. Where are we? Did we eliminate anyway? Oh no, you threw in an honorable mention. You're renominating dead ones, but
and
anyway,
we are officially off the rails again.
Hey, we're still rolling. We're still on it. Yeah. We're still here.
Speaking of
we fell off, but we're still within.
Speaking of rolling,
we're spitting distance from the train.
Speaking of rolling, we could consider "Gimme Shelter" by the Rolling Stones.
That's a good segue. That was better than any of the ones I've done.
Maybe I should start introducing the show from here on out.
Go for it.
I don't want to.
So I had that one on my list for the longest time. That was one of the first ones I came up with. But the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, pretty much every time this is in a movie, I'm like, hell yeah, give me Shelter.
Yeah, it's. I kind of thought the same way.
And I also, I was looking, it's not in as many as I thought it was.
Right? Yeah, no, it's not.
It's in a lot of really iconic movies.
Yeah.
Because it's
Goodfellas, Flight, Casino, The Departed. Those are the big four, right?
Apparently, it's Martin Scorsese's favorite song ever. Apparently, because he's had it in I think 4 different movies, at least 3.
With me, it was.
Nobody can see why that's funny, but as you were saying that, you said, for me, and you really dramatically pointed to your own chest, as if I didn't know what me meant.
For me, God damn it. Oh yeah, okay. So for me, I had to keep listening to the song because the band Cinderella, they have a song called "Gimme Shelter." And every time I see that song, I think of that. My brain immediately goes to that song, and it's completely different than the Rolling Stones, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was in Casino and Goodfellas and Departed, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about those scenes. So it's like, not that it's forgettable, but it's, I guess, not as overplayed because you're not like,
and because they're all Scorsese movies.
Maybe it's just one.
They all kind of blend together.
Yeah, it's just one guy.
You almost see it as one scene. Yeah, because it's just they're kind of similar. I mean, the scenes themselves aren't necessarily similar, but it's kind of a similar vibe at least.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're all mob movies. All 3 of those, The Departed, Goodfellas, Casino, they're all mafia movies, so they all kind of blend together. So they almost seem like it's only used once. But
all right, we can leave that off.
But yeah, that's such a good song too.
My only other one would be Back in Black, but like I only really ever remember it from Iron Man.
Yeah, see, that was another one. You said that, I'm like, wow, that's kind of surprising because I don't necessarily think of specific scenes.
It's probably a little biased.
I hear it a lot.
It's probably just biased because I hate that song.
Yeah, I hear it a lot in different places. I feel like it's been in a lot of commercials too. It's just like a wildly popular song. It's just played all over the place.
It drives me crazy
but I
because
don't specifically think of scenes from movies.
Obviously, I used to listen to AC/DC a lot, and now it's.
I feel like every rock and roll fan had a AC/DC phase,
and now it's just like. You're right. Every song's basically the same, but like you
kind of grow out of it.
But they do have some bangers, and it's like you can use songs other than "Thunderstruck," "Hell's Bells," and "Back in Black." You can use you can use more than that.
Yeah.
Although
throw a little Money Talks in there. That's a good one. I love that song.
Although Thunderstruck rips, and I will rock out to that song every single time.
That's another one. I feel like it's overplayed every time it comes on. I'm like, all right,
do not care.
You pulled me back in. Darn it.
You could play it in the original Friday the 13th, and I'm here for it.
They were making love while that young boy drowned.
Thunderstruck.
Thunder, and then Jason
I love
grabs her at the end.
I love playing that drinking game.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Such a fun.
Yeah, somebody gets stuck with a guitar solo every time. So yeah, I'm not leaning all that well toward the Back in Black.
I'd be leaning the same way, honestly.
So let me see. So we had that True song, by the Spandau Ballet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one. I feel like it's in a lot of commercials. Probably, I think I don't remember any specific ones, but it was in a lot of. It's basically.
It was in a lot of popular movies.
Yeah, a lot of rom-coms, a lot of like teen movies. Edge of 17.
Not another teen movie.
Crazy Stupid Love. Yeah, 16 Candles was probably
the most
famous one.
I saw it was in Pixels.
Yeah, why is it in Pixels? Right. That's probably like Adam Sandler's romantic interest for the movie. Yeah. They have a weird. I mean, it is like a classic 80s movies.
Yeah.
Was just a nostalgia dump for everybody.
Or he probably just had some weird moment with Pac-Man or something.
It was like Super Mario and Peach or something. It was their moment. Hot Tub Time Machine. I can't remember specifically the scene, but that one had a lot of great songs in it. That whole soundtrack is awesome. 21 different movies is what I saw, but I feel like it's been used a ton. I feel like it's been used in a lot of TV shows and a lot of...
Man, I must have been looking in the wrong spot. I didn't see anywhere close to that.
What did you see?
I'll take your word for it. I saw only like 5 or 6 films. But
really?
But when I was writing that down, I was like, that can't be right. I've heard this in so many things.
And it may some of these may not be credited. I noticed, I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Bad to the Bone. I noticed like 3 of them that I wrote down. It was uncredited in the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's in Lethal Weapon and Christine, and I don't think it's credited. So IMDb might list them on there because it's in the movie, but it's not credited. Yeah. So it may not come up wherever you saw it. But anyway, so yeah, I think that's a pretty good candidate.
Yeah.
And then I guess the only other one we haven't really talked about is I guess 2 more. Green Onions. Did we talk about Green Onions?
No, you just brought it up.
Yeah, I brought it up when we were doing the nominees. That's yeah. Yeah,
it's always like,
I swear,
it's always like a scene where they're just like getting to work.
Yeah,
it's like they're like getting ready.
It's about to be, the montage is about to start.
Yeah,
or it is the montage song. Or yeah, it's like let's get going. It's
like
in the Sandlot. It's like every time they are just playing baseball,
or
it's playing,
or it's like a scene where it's like to show how hot it is outside.
Oh yeah, it's always like a dusty summer scene. Yeah. It was in Drive, X-Men First Class. I don't remember that. I kind of remember, but I can't remember specifically what the scene is. Glory Road, American Graffiti too. It's an older one, but yeah, I saw 23 different movies. I just feel it's another like super iconic sound. I don't know how overplayed it is, but I mean 23 is quite a bit. It's more than Sweet Home Alabama, which I was surprised by.
I guess my thinking was, I tried to go back when it was first played and when it was last played. So for like Bad to the Bone and Back in Black, they're both, well, one was 83, one was 84, and they're both like still used present day.
Yep.
The Somebody to Love by Jefferson Airplane.
Mm-hmm.
They've got, over 20 credits. But I just don't think they're that memorable. But it's from the 60s. Like, their first credits was in the 60s. So
that's same with Born to Be Wild. That's an old song. It's a 60s song. And that's still, again, anytime somebody's riding a motorcycle, better play Born to Be Wild.
After we make our Mecha Michael Myers movie, we need to make our Paddington Born to Be Wild movie.
Can you imagine? Just like he's got like this little, he's smoking like a Black and Mild, like it's a big fat stogie.
Yep.
So of the kind of sure things I think that we had Spirit in the Sky, Fortunate Son, Bad to the Bone, and Born to Be Wild. I took out Bad Moon Rising and Back in Black. Yell at me if you disagree, but I think we were both kind of on the same page with Gimme Shelter. Where it's not used as often as we think. It's just
in iconic movies, and it's like one director.
Yeah, and it's always used well, I think.
Yeah.
So, Sweet Home Alabama, I feel like is, except for Con Air, all the other examples I could think of, it's again a very on the nose scene. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, we're traveling to the South. I guess we'll play Sweet Home Alabama. Or there's a character literally from Alabama who says Alabama 487 times throughout the movie. Look at you, Forrest Gump. Alabama. No, I guess we got to play Sweet Home Alabama at some point in this movie. It wouldn't be right without it. So I guess I never really listed any of the movies. There's another one. Joe Dirt was on this list twice.
I think
at least twice.
I think our next Ultimate Showdown is going to be you versus Sweet Home Alabama.
It was in Despicable Me. There's another one. That's a fairly recent movie, but this is from I don't even know when Sweet Home Alabama came. Was that 80s? I'm thinking 81. I don't know why. Let me see how close I was. What the hell is it called? Sweet Home. Ooh, I was way off. 1974. It's a lot older than I thought it was.
I was gonna say, I thought it was older than the 80s.
Yeah,
it
does sound like a 70s song, but they're also Southern rock, so it could have been.
Well, that's true, but I think I'm locking in
Texas Chainsaw, the 2003 movie. It was in 8 Mile for some reason. Seems kind of a...
Is that when he was battle rapping Exhibit?
Maybe. Maybe they like sampled it or something. I don't know. The in Girl Next Door, Joe Dirt, Con Air I mentioned, Crimson Tide, obviously. Forrest Gump, I mentioned like 40 times. Not one I thought of immediately, but once I saw it when I was researching, I'm like, oh yeah, that isn't a bunch of them. But I only saw 16 movies that it was in, so not used as much as I thought. But
I think I'm locking in Fortunate Son.
Yeah, it's just so you immediately have an image in your brain, and that's because of the movies it's in.
I could create an entire Vietnam War scene right now.
Yeah,
because of that song.
That one, yeah.
Take that, AI.
Yeah, got nothing on a real brain. So Spirit in the Sky, Fortunate Son. I think Bad to the Bone is a lock. What do you think? How do you feel about that one over any of the other ones we have? Because really that leaves Sweet Home Alabama, Green Onions, True, Bad to the Bone, and Born to Be Wild. Born to Be Wild. Can we just like roll those into one? Just Bad to Be Born to Be Wild. Bad to the Wild and Born to Be Bone.
Bad to Be Back in Black and Born in the Wild. Born to Be Wild.
Born in the Wild.
Damn it. It's such a good joke and I botched it.
It was actually good before you corrected it. I thought it sounded pretty good.
All right. I still would put Back in Black over Bad to the Bone, but I will put Bad to the Bone in there just because I'm trying to put my hatred towards that song out.
Yeah. I just think with Bad to the Bone, it's almost always on the nose. Like Back in Black is usually still eye roll worthy, but it's just because, again, we need like a badass song, but it's not like literally in the title.
Yeah.
Like that's the only line from that song that everybody knows. I don't know. That's why it is for me.
So it really comes down to what? Born to Be
Wild, Sweet Home Alabama, Green Onions, and True.
My dog is licking my sock.
It's a tasty sock. What can you blame her?
She got me all okay.
All flustered.
All flustered here. All right. So basically, we're down Back in Black, Sweet Home Alabama. No, not Back in Black. Born to Be Wild.
Yeah, Born to Be Wild, Sweet Home Alabama,
and True. No,
and Green Onions.
And Green Onions.
And True. So we got 4 to narrow down to 2. What do we want to eliminate? Let's go that way again. That's helped us before. Any of those 4?
When's the last time you heard Born to Be Wild?
When's the last time I heard any of these?
Well, that's true, but like, I feel like I'm more likely to hear one of those other 3 than Born to Be Wild.
You think so? Of those 4, that one has been used the most in movies. I had 39 different movies that it was in. Sweet Home Alabama didn't actually have as many.
I'm taking Sweet Home Alabama out.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. I don't think it's quite as eye roll worthy as. I mean, it is eye roll worthy, but I don't think it's used as often as some of these others. So somebody. Honestly, I think I would take out Green Onions of the last 3. I feel like it almost, because it's instrumental. I think it's instrumental. At least you never hear the words in the song, in the movies that it's used in. I think because of that, it almost just sounds like it's part of the score. It almost doesn't even seem like its own song. Like I said, I didn't know it was its own song. I just thought it was part of the Sandlot score. So it is used a lot, but I don't know that it's necessarily like stands out when you hear it. It's like, oh, that's that song that's in all the other movies.
I mean, it wasn't even on. I didn't even have it written down. So obviously it's not. We can take that one out.
So that one.
So we're really down to Born to Be Wild and what?
Honestly, I'm down to 5. I got Spirit in the Sky, Fortunate Son, Bad to the Bone, Born to Be Wild, and True. Were there any other ones you want to throw in there other than Back in Black?
Yeah, man. I just hate that song.
See, I didn't write that one down, so I don't have like a lot of. I don't have any examples of movies it's been in.
I think Iron Man helps its case.
Which Iron Man is it in?
The original.
Yeah, okay. Thunderstruck's in the Avengers, I think.
True's a hard one to put in there, but I think you're right. It's just like
there's
other sweet songs or whatever. There's other songs you can play in that moment.
Yeah, it's another one I almost feel like I'm a little more biased. I feel like it's in a lot of commercials too. When they're trying to be dramatic and they're trying to be jokey about something. It's like a guy looking at like his dog or something, and it's about fancy dog food. It's like, oh, this guy loves his dog. So let's play the song from 16 Candles. So I
didn't realize in that movie they played like a minute of that song.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of just like the same kind of yeah. There's not really much to it. It just really gets.
That's what I mean. Imagine playing that song for over a minute, and it's just the same. Like,
yeah, it's just background noise almost. It just sets the mood. Another one I thought of. I don't know how many it's in because I completely forgot about it until this exact moment. What is that song? It's the. Bwam, 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 bwam. I've been really. I don't know the words. It's like a soul song. The. Bwam, 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 bwam. It's like it's usually in like some sort of love scene.
Is that Boint with a BW?
Yeah, Boint, 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 Boint.
Like BWOINT.
Boint, yeah, Boint.
Boint, Boint. Is there 3 Boints?
Boint, 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 but 4. It's 4. It's 4 Boints. The last one's like a little bit longer.
Like
it's three staccato Boints with a long Boint at the end.
Like on the O part, or
how did you spell it? Was the O before the E?
BWOINT.
That's Boint.
Boint. Oh yeah.
Boint. It would be like an A, like a Boint. Boint.
BWOANT.
Boint. I'm thinking like BWENT. BWIENT.
Boint. Oh yeah.
Boint.
Boint.
Yeah.
All right, and then Boint, like Boint.
Boint, 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 Boint. It's like it kind of goes up. That one almost doesn't have the T at the end. It's just Boint, 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 Boint. Maybe an H on that one. You hold it. Okay. Anything? Getting anything on that one?
Boint, 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 soul song.
Yeah.
And the first YouTube video that came up is Kyle Rich and Jen Carter and Tata and McVert Bent. That's a song.
Were any of those English words that you just said?
I don't believe so.
Stereotypical.
Well, it thinks I'm. It thinks I'm trying to spell bent because it said including results for bent soul song. I'm gonna spell it my way. See if I get. Do you mean boing 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 boint soul song?
This is probably real interesting, riveting content here. This is what we're getting. I'm surprised you didn't get it from my blunt blintz. I mean, I sang it. That's like that's the only part you ever hear. There's usually like somebody's like unbuttoning something. And it's like boing boing boing. And then the guy comes
Get it on?
Yeah, let's get it on. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you.
That does not sound at all like that song.
What? Boing, 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 boing. It's how it starts. You got it from that? What do you mean? That's not what it sounds like.
The pacing was all wrong on that.
What? I mean, I said it a little fast. The boing, 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 boing part that when we were doing our joke thing, that was off. When I first did it, I did it exactly right. Okay. I mean, it's like boing, boing.
Yeah. Was it? Who sings that?
Take off that brassiere, my dear.
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, there we go.
I only remember that song from, remember the King of Queens episode? I think they're on vacation, and Doug and Carrie are in the same room, or the next room from their friends. And
they keep hearing it?
They keep hearing that song over and over and over again.
Yeah, so do you think that one even does that one deserve a nomination?
No, because I laugh every time that song comes on.
Yeah, it's always a good scene when you put that one in there.
Because it's never serious.
It's almost always a joke.
It's always a joke.
Yeah. All right. Did we settle on that one? Are we good with True?
I think we're settled, yeah. True's fine.
Spirit in the Sky, no-brainer, obvious one in there. Fortunate Son, just a second no-brainer. Bad to the Bone, bad. That's all, folks. Born to Be Wild and True by, what's the band again? Spandau Ballet?
Spandau Ballet.
Is that how you pronounce it? Did you look it up? Did you look up a pronunciation guide for Spandau?
Spandau Ballet. Spandau.
I was saying Spandau. I guess Spandau would be if it had like an E in it.
Like an E-A-U.
Yeah.
X. New Orleans
Yeah,
style.
I was going to say that'd be the Cajun version. Anyway, that's it. Done. What are we doing? What's this thing called? The Alzheimer's Club. I always forget that.
The Alzheimer's Club for...
This is the inductees into the Alzheimer's Club. Spirit in the Sky, Fortunate Son, Bad to the Bone, Born to Be Wild, and True by Spandau Ballet. Got that one down. I'm going to forget that one by tomorrow. It's going to be instantly gone from my brain.
Yeah, yep. Dig it.
And that's the show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as Hollywood loves CCR. And you can pay that love forward by sharing this podcast with your friends and family and any movie fans out there, some sound trackers, whatever that word means. You can find us on Spotify and Podbean and wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube now. I think we're very close to that one. We're dangerously close to actually getting on Apple Podcasts. So stay tuned for that one, I guess. Don't forget to like us on your platform of choice and subscribe so you get a notification when we drop a new episode. And give us a little star rating. Leave us a review. That really helps us get seen out there. You can like us on Facebook and follow us at CCWisePod on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and Twitter. You can follow me on just about everything at Tyler_W. Where can everybody find you out there?
You can find me on the Twitter at BWise23.
The Twitter.
I'm on Instagram at NotTheFakeBW, and I'm also at TikTok at NotTheFakeBrandonWise. So go ahead and join us in a couple weeks, and we will have another episode of Counterclockwise for you.
And stay Brolden. It's going to be instantly gone from my brain.
Yeah, yep. Dig it.
Sucker!